Alright, Shalom. It's the Officer Karate from the I.S.U.P.K, UK, and our job is to teach blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians that they are the real Jews. And you know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe to I.S.U.P.K UK on YouTube. We got loads of videos, loads of lectures, loads of street speakings. So make sure you log into that. We got street speakings regarding the real Jews are black, who wrote the Bible. Hispanics are Israelites. You know what I mean? We're on the streets every Saturday from 12 till till 5. Till the sun goes down anyway. So you know what I mean? Make sure you support, give a donation, pay your tithes. You know what I mean? We got many operations going on. Every Monday, 2 a.m. Stay awake. Commanding General Yohanna's radio show.
Right.
The Grill. You know what I mean? Hosted by Commanding General Yohanna, where it goes into all the hot topics in the black community worldwide, not just America. If anything's happening in the UK, he brings it up to. Let you know the I.S.U.P.K stands on that according to the Bible. Tuesday, we got the Brotherhood class, 12 midnight till 2, hosted by Captain Mashat Mayam. Wednesday, the law class, 12 midnight till 2. Make sure you log into these classes. You know what I mean? Find out the law, find out how to be moral, morality, how to keep laws, how to treat your brothers and your sisters. You know what I mean? This white man has taught us Christianity, and we think by being a good person, it's by giving a smile, you know what I mean? Helping the old lady across the street, when that's not righteousness according to the Bible. Righteousness in the Bible is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. And there's only one way you can live, that's logging it into the law class on Wednesday.
Right.
Where we break down the law, explain the law. So make sure you log into that, 12 midnight till 2. Thursday, scripture breakdown class, mainly hosted by General Mahayaman. Ask all your questions, any question you ever wanted to know concerning the Bible or concerning anything. You make sure you log into them classes, give us your name, location, and give us your question. We will answer that. Friday is the Hebrew class, the Lashawan Kodash, hosted by General Kubala Maf. You know what I mean? Black man, your native language ain't English. It's not Creole. Hispanic man, your language ain't Spanish. You know what I mean? Your Brazilian man, your native tongue ain't Portuguese. It's a Lashawan Kodash. And we teach that at the I.S.U.P.K. We teach you your holy tongue before slavery. We teach you the tongue that the Bible was written in. You know what I mean? We go into the pronouns, the nouns, the Hebrew connectives, the masculine, feminine. You know what I mean? We go through all of that. So make sure you log into that. Saturday also, like no problem. Any question on that? And then Saturday also, Sabbath service. You know, we make sure you log into that. How to keep a Sabbath service correctly. So yeah, everything. So also yeah, remember to pay your tithes. 10% of anything you earn. If you earn £10, you give £1 to the priest of the Lord. If you earn £1, 10 pence. If you earn 10 pence, a penny. You know what I mean? But make sure you pay your tithes. It's a commandment. Just like how you wouldn't smoke cigarettes, just like how you wouldn't be a homosexual, you should also pay your tithes. That's found in the Bible also. You know what I mean? Like, is there any questions?
No questions yet.
Okay, so for all those that watch the I.S.U.P.K and you watch Israelite Vibes, hosted by Tazayak and like Captain Tazayak and Officer Katazar, you know what I mean? When white man phoned in, he got crushed.
Right.
You all saw that. You know what I mean? His argument was that in the book of Deuteronomy, he talks about the strangers and how you got to treat the strangers with respect. And his argument was, why do we talk bad about white people if they're the strangers? Shouldn't we treat them with respect? Shouldn't we love the strangers? That's what his argument was. But this just shows how we don't know the Bible. Captain Tazayak crushed him. But I thought I'll go into it also. You know what I mean? I thought through the Spirit I'll go into this topic and bring some scripture out also. So if you can, so give me Deuteronomy 16 and 18.
All right, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 18.
All right, start there. Because what the devil don't know is that he thinks everywhere he sees the word stranger, it's referring to a non-Israelite, and that's not the case. Again, context is key. You know what I mean? A stranger also is someone that you don't know, or someone that's not from around here. It's not always referring to a heathen or a non-Israelite, but he don't know that. So he thinks every scripture he sees stranger is referring to a non-Israelite. So we're going to go in the Bible and show you that a stranger is not always a heathen.
What, Deuteronomy 16 and 18?
Come on.
Deuteronomy 16 and 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates.
So what this man don't understand is that Israel is a big place. In ancient Israel is a big place. You have the land of Benjamin, the land of Judah, the land of Zebulun, and the land of Naphtali. And in all these gates, in all these lands, we have judges and officers. Read on.
Which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes.
So throughout our tribes, we had our own land, different governors, in different gates. It wasn't just one land, like how people think. People think the land of Israel was just Israel and all Israelites just, living in one place. That wasn't so. In the land of Benjamin, the land of Judah, just like today, America's a big country, but America consists of different states. And in those different states, people have different accents, different laws, people dress different, people deal with things different. And that was same in Israel as well. We did things differently in our different lands. Judah spoke Hebrew, had the same laws, but they dealt with things different. Probably had a different accent, just like England today. You got the Birmingham City Council, the Manchester Council. We got, just like in Israel, different tribes in Israel had their own governors, their own judges. Just like today, the mayor for Birmingham is not the same mayor for Manchester, but with one country, we don't know.
And they shall judge the people with just judgments.
So the Most High put through all the lands of Israel in Benjamin, Zebulun, Naphtali, he gave them judges, rulers, governors. What we call today MPs, mayors. People that will govern the land, different ones in all the land. That's what people don't understand. So read it again now.
Deuteronomy 16 and 18. Judges and officers shall thou make thee in all thy gates.
In all thy gates. It wasn't one gate in Israel. There was different lands in Israel. And the Most High put judges in all the lands. Different states in America have different flags. In Israel, we had different flags too. Benjamin had their land. Judah had his land. Naphtali had his land. We done?
Which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout all thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgments.
There you go. And these councillors, governors, MPs will judge the people of that land. But people don't understand that. So when it's talking about a stranger, it's talking about a man that will come from Judah to go dwell in Benjamin. That's the stranger. He's strange to that land. He's not from around here. He ain't got the same accent. He probably dresses different. He probably looks different. The way how things are set up in Judah ain't set up the same way in probably Benjamin. Probably the roads are a bit bigger in Benjamin, a bit smaller in Judah. That's a stranger. That's the man that we shouldn't be oppressing. That's a stranger, like you said.
And also we see that today as well. Like us being in Birmingham, you go to Bradford or something, he may talk different. The way how he acts might be a bit different too. So him being over here, this land is strange unto him. He don't know where the corner shop is like we do because he's a stranger. So exactly. He don't know the place.
I'm going to scriptures to show you that Israel weren't just one land where we all just dwelt in harmony. You know what I mean? It was split up. There were different tribes. Moses said he put governors. One land have their governors, their rulers, their member of parliament, their MPs. Another one have another one. It wasn't just one, one big. It didn't happen like that. The land was split up, and brothers would move from land of Benjamin to Zebulun for whatever purposes, whether for family purposes. Probably there's no work going in Benjamin, so he moves to Zebulun, to look at work there or something, or whatever purpose. But we didn't dwell in one land. It was one land, but it was split up into tribes, and we had governors over them tribes. But people don't understand that. Just like people think whenever it's talking about a stranger, it's talking about a heathen. It's not. Are we going to prove that? Like I said, want to say something?
Yeah, like people got Christianity in the mind where all of them just got along and hello God and all that stuff. It didn't work like that. They lived in their land, didn't care about nothing else, just focus on them. But obviously, for any reason it may be, he might go to the land of Judah to probably, you know, get a wife or live there, and
Exactly.
that's
You know
but
what I
that's what
mean?
it was strange.
Anyone who likes McDonald's, do you think McDonald's meat comes from Birmingham? You really don't. You know what I mean? You drive LV,
Yeah,
HGV, come from?
Poland
They
sometimes.
come from Poland, or sometimes come from England or up north, and people travel to Birmingham to drop it off. And the same thing here, for business purposes, brothers had to travel to different provinces in Israel, just like in England, it's one country, but to get your paper, to get your meat, you know what I mean? We all go Tesco. Tesco food don't come from Birmingham. You see the big trucks, it gets driven down here. And for the same reason, you know what I mean? You think people think that fruit was popped out the ground and was empty. Now things got traveled over, for people got married and so on, but we didn't all live in one land. So like, you want to say something?
Now it was just after like the HGV driving. A lot of the meat and stuff comes from Scotland a lot of times. So
which is the same country, but for business purposes, you got to travel here, don't you?
that's right.
Exactly. So give me Leviticus 19 and 34. Any questions, sir?
Not yet. All right, Leviticus 19 and verse 34. And if a stranger,
And the what?
and if a stranger,
So they say if a stranger. So this is the point that the devil was trying to bring. We done?
sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him.
So he's saying, well, you should treat other nations just like yourself. The Bible says, don't vex a stranger. We done?
Verse 34. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you.
So he's saying, well, you know, the stranger that dwells with you, you meant to love him also, man. You know what I mean? You can't be calling white people the devil. You can't. Why are you not inviting Chinese people into your classes? You know what I mean? Why are you not holding hands with a Somalian? When the Bible says the stranger shall dwell with you, he shall be like one born in the land with you. When that's not what the Bible's saying, give me Exodus 12:49. So I can just write it off first. Okay, yeah, read that. Yeah.
It's the 12th chapter and the 49th verse. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you.
So they're saying, see, it's one Lord for both of you. You know what I mean? To the Israelite and the stranger. You know what I mean? One law, you both. Why you vexing white people for? The Bible says one law to both of you, man. So let's see them. You give me Deuteronomy 14:21. Let's see if we're reading the Bible wrong or the devil is reading the Bible wrong.
The book of Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter, verse 21. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
Yeah, read that again.
Also, ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
So this is a law. Anything that dies of itself, we're not allowed to eat that. You know what I mean? If we got some beef, we got to go out, kill the cow, cut his neck, hang it upside down, let the blood drip out. We can't be driving, see a what's it called, roadkill.
That's right.
See a roadkill or a cow that died of disease or rabies or was run over or was torn by another beast and eat that. We have to specifically kill the cow, hang it up, skin it, and cook it. We can't eat anything that dies of itself. So you can't eat a cow that was old age and just died one day. You woke up one day, the cow was dead in the field. We can't eat that. Us as Israelites, we can't eat that meat. We're forbidden to eat that. We're a holy people. We can't put anything in our body.
Right.
And the Bible is saying we are not allowed to eat anything that dies of itself. Read.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger. Unto the stranger.
Well, I thought the Bible said there's one law for the stranger and the Israelites. But here it's saying you can't eat it, but they can eat it. Like, does the Bible? So the Bible is saying don't vex the stranger, and whatever you do, humans do also. But here it's saying you can't eat the meat, but he can eat the meat. You know what I mean? Saying you can't eat that nasty, disgusting meat, but the stranger can. Like, we know the Bible don't contradict itself, does it? It don't. You know what I mean? So, but I thought there's one, according to this what's it, Maloney. You know, the stranger is one law to the stranger and to you, man. You're all one. So how can the Most High saying you can't eat this disgusting meat, but give it to the stranger, let him eat that. You know what I mean? Again, because when you read the Bible, you need to get understanding. You know what I mean? Yeah, stranger does mean heathen, but in some instances, it's talking about a foreigner, someone not from here. Is that a definition of the word stranger?
Yeah. And also, that's heavy because that makes our point that a stranger, it can be a Israelite, because then if they believe every time in the Bible a stranger is a literal Gentile, then that would be a contradiction right there. So,
You know what I mean?
so which one is it?
1 minute you can't vex him, but you can say disgusting meat. You know what I mean? The same. You got the same laws, one law for both of you guys. Yet you're gonna say disgusting meat. Again, context is key. You know what I mean? Like Captain Tazaya brought out in this polite debate, and I'll never forget this. He said, you know what I mean? Context is key. Like the word dog. If I say I'm chilling with my dog, it could be my friend or my pet. You know what I mean? It's however you. It's the context. You need to use context. And these Christians don't use context. It's carnal. You know what I mean? Like if I say that man's a snake, you know what I mean? Is he literally a snake, or does he have snake-like attributes? Is he a chatterbox? Is he sly? Is he slick? And context is key. But people don't know about context. You know what I mean? You got these people that barely left school. You know what I mean? Got a basic C grade, GCSE, pick up the Bible, and now they're a scholar. You know what I mean? Because society has taught people that you don't need a man to teach this Bible. Choose a man. I don't learn from man. I can pick up this Bible and read myself, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean? When you learned about algebra, geography, science, law, whatever you studied in college, you didn't pick up the book and learn it yourself. So why, when it comes to the Bible, you can pick up this book and read it yourself? Like,
I got a question line if you want to answer it now, or
go on,
first keeper. All right, Trooper Tazadak says, Salakia, is it fair to say that people who tweet Black Lives Matter are the 2/3?
No, I wouldn't say so. No, because you know what I mean? We don't know who the 2/3 are. You know what I mean? A brother might be into this Black Lives Matter movement now, and next year, he's in the UPK, rocking braids, studs, you know what I mean? So that's just, there's people in Islam right now, Christianity, that are going to hear this word, you know what I mean, change their lives, stop eating pork, stop going to Mecca and bowing down to a rock,
right?
Pop that cross off around their neck, put on a shield, you know what I mean, and get into school. So no, Black Lives Matter just like a religion, like anything else, which any black brother can come out of. You know what I mean? There's brothers that you think are locked in, that might be, that might fall off. The brothers that fell off already. So we can't say who 2/3 and who's gonna make it. So the brothers that are into this black thing, this black Afro movement, whatever, this Black Lives Matter thing. But who knows? We got a powerful video coming out soon on Black Lives Matter. These brothers might be interested in Black Lives Matter, see our interview and change their mind, get locked in, come into class. So absolutely not, nah. I would never say they're the 2/3.
Also with Paul, he's an example. He didn't follow Yahushua at first. He was actually persecuting the people that believed in him. And then look at him now. Like the Bible says, he became one of the chief apostles.
Can you let scripture about his life?
Romans 3.
Is it sharp or?
Yeah.
Is it sharp?
What is?
Romans 3.
Yeah, it's in Romans 3, like about the top, like about verse 7 or so.
There you go. What the brother said was heavy. Paul wasn't always in the truth. When Paul was a Pharisee, one of them hypocrite religious leaders like Jesse Jackson today, making out like he loves black people. Meanwhile, he hated black people. He locked up the followers of Christ. He would travel far in his donkey, lock them up, beat them, stone them, and look up into Paul. He became the chief apostle. You know what I mean? The brothers that rolled with Christ, taught by Christ, Paul did more work than them. You know what I mean? Peter stayed in Jerusalem. Paul went over to Corinth, Ephesus, you know what I mean? Thessalonica. You know what I mean? These lands ain't close. Are these Europe kind of?
It's
Turkey and them ends there. And Paul from the Middle East. It's like Romans, what? It's like 4.
Now Romans, the 3rd chapter and the 7th verse.
Right, give me that.
Romans 3 and the 7th verse. For if the truth of God had more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner?
There you go, for the truth. Paul finally got the truth, but people still knew him for being that Pharisee. So yeah, you know what I mean? Even though Paul wasn't in the truth at first, he came in the truth. And look, we read the book of Romans written by Paul. First Corinthians, written by Paul. Second Corinthians, written by Paul, a man who wasn't in the truth at one point. You know what I mean? You give some more. Hebrews, written by Paul.
Galatians,
Ephesians, Galatians, and so forth. So yeah, man, some of these brothers in this Black Lives Matter stupidness, trust me, one day you're gonna see them on the streets reading. The one day you're gonna see them on the streets holding posts. The one day you're gonna see them on the streets speaking on the streets. The one day you're gonna see them on this table. One day you're gonna see them turn into a general. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, nah. You know, we don't know who the 2/3 are. You know what I mean? From this breath in your lungs, there's repentance, there's change. You know what I mean? So that answers the brother's question.
Yeah, kind of. You said Slovakia, not Black Lives Matter. I said the people saying that Black Lives Matter, but same thing.
If you could explain, I'm not sure. The people saying Black Lives Matter. You mean the protest?
Oh no, Slovakia. The people saying all lives matter.
Nah, again, absolutely not. You know what I mean? I ain't seen it happen yet, but you could be a total coon. Like, listen, there's nothing that you can't repent from. You could be a coon, loving a white man, white woman, everything. You can change. You know what I mean? You could love white men. You know what I mean? You could be a tap dancing coon, man. You know what I mean? Come to one of our classes, we break it down to you. You're like, rah, the white man isn't there, man. He really does hate our people. You can change. I like Russia. You know what I mean? So the public breath has always changed, man. You know what I mean? I was never a coon myself, but you know, I didn't. You know, I thought everyone's cool. You know what I mean? Got up everybody. Look where I am now. You know what I mean? I'm here at the table telling you the white man's a devil, man.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And all nations are not the strangers, but the Israelites. So I can change. You know what I mean? I'm no greater than nobody else, so they can change too. You get me? So that's all I can say on that. Anything else? Nothing else? Okay, Carl. If we read definition for me, stranger.
All right, strangers. The definition: stranger, one of another town.
So one of another town. So and this is a biblical definition also. You know, it's not Webster's or Oxford or Cambridge. This is a biblical one. And even the scholars are saying it's sometimes one from another town, not always a heathen. Read.
One from another town, city, state, or province.
There you go. So stranger is also someone from another province. A man from Manchester walking around here. The stranger, I don't know him. He ain't from around here. He don't know how things work. He don't know where things are. It's different. You know what I mean? Like things are different. I went to London now. I don't know about Operation Trident. I don't know what an Oyster card is. What's an Oyster card, man?
I still don't know to this day.
People tell that get time. What's an Oyster card? I'm a stranger. I don't know what Oyster card is. I don't know what the tube is. I'm a stranger to Islam, even though they're both England, but I'm a stranger to this. I don't know what Oyster card is. You're from California. You're from New York and one's in California. Things are different, even though it's in the same country. Like anymore.
That's some more. In the same country.
Exactly. Read it again.
One of another town, city, state, or province in the same country.
That's the definition. Another definition. So, all you scholars out there that believe in scholars, before you pick up this Bible and start pointing out who's a stranger, you need to pick and read stuff in context of which strangers which. You know what I mean? That's what you need to do. And furthermore, also selling rotten meat to strangers, that is good economics. You know what I mean? That's how you get rich. You know what I mean? You sell you rubbish stuff to the other nations. That's what they do. That's what they do to us. You know what I mean? You get your stuff, you sell it at a higher price, and that's how your nation gets stronger and then it gets weak. You know what I mean? But you don't. What black people do is we dug on our own people. But this Bible is good economics and good brotherhood. We don't give to them, and that's how other nations do. That's how England do trading. You know what I mean? You sell all your rubbish stuff out and you keep all the good stuff in. That's how you're supposed to look at people. All right, kind of.
I got some other definition. Another one unknown.
There you go again. Just like today, you see it since a long time. Like, oh, you're a stranger. One is unknown. That's a stranger. Give me Deuteronomy 15. Agree.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15 and verse 3, of in
the Bible dictionary or the Strong Concordance, a foreigner and a stranger are interchangeable. It's the exact same Hebrew word. So read it out. A foreigner.
Of a foreigner, thou mayest exact it again.
and exact means interest. He's saying of the foreigner, you may add interest. Read.
Exact is again, but that which is thine with thy brother,
Read.
thine hand shall release.
So he's saying of a stranger, you can add interest, but if your brother gives you some money, just give back what is required and then let it go. But for the stranger, it said one law for you and the same for the stranger, but there's two different laws here. You can here it's saying you can what's the word?
Exact it or get it back.
Add interest on one and the other you can't add interest, clearly showing that there ain't one law. You know what I mean?
And also, what's heavy about it? For those that haven't read it before, this talking about the year of release, meaning there was a time when, you know, if someone didn't pay you back with your brother, he can be free. You can let him go, but that stranger, there ain't no year of release for him.
Exactly. And that's how a country gets paid. You don't. Black people got it wrong. Countries like Jamaica got it wrong. They think they're a good country by oppressing their own people. You go to Jamaica, they're putting tax on books, on water. That's not how a country makes money. You don't make money by beating and bruising your own people. You're meant to keep them sweet. You're meant to abuse other countries that are not your people. And what you make from them, you make sure your people are sweet. But black people today have got it wrong. You know what I mean? We're taxing our own people. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, now, all the other nations are exacting us. Drop that. Give me 23:19.
I got two question lines. If you want to hold them over.
Give me 1 second.
Which book here?
Deuteronomy again, 23:19.
All right, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 19. Thou shalt not lend usury to thy brother.
There you go. The Bible says you're not allowed to add interest on your brother. If your brother owes you £10 and he says, you know what, I'll give it to you on Friday. On Friday, he gives you £10. That is it. If you and the man have an agreement and he goes, you know what, I'm kind of broke, you know, give me £10 and I'll pay you 5 on Tuesday and 5 on Wednesday. He should give you 5 on Tuesday and 5 on Wednesday. That is it. If he decides to give you £1 every day for 10 days, if that's an agreement, that's cool. But you should not say unto him, you know what, because I'm doing you a favor, make it 15. That is a law in the Bible. You're not allowed to add interest onto your brother, your fellow black or Hispanic brother. You done?
Yeah, usury of money.
Money, you can't add usury on money, as I said. Read.
Yeah, usury of victuals.
Or victuals like food.
Food in it.
Or food. He borrows a frozen turkey from you. He owes you a frozen turkey back. He don't owe you 2. He don't owe you a frozen turkey and a bag of rice. Just the frozen turkey, what you borrow from you.
That's right. Yeah, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
Anything he lends, he gives you that and that alone. You know what I mean? We done?
Unto a stranger.
Unto the stranger. Remember the same stranger that these Christians are talking about, these strangers that we gotta love so much and kiss them and one law goes for us both. The same stranger that, you know what I mean, that these Christians can't get right. Read.
Thou mayest lend upon usury.
So you can lend interest on the step, but you can't add interest to your brother. But I thought the scripture said you can't oppress a stranger. It is oppression.
That's right.
To keep man in debt, that's oppression. That's why these banks love to give you credit cards and add interest to keep you oppressed, to keep you in a what's the word?
In a debt, in a cycle of debt.
Which is oppression. That's how you know that it's not talking about a stranger that's not of your people. Sometimes a stranger is talking about one from a foreign land. So when it goes, do not oppress the stranger, it's saying don't oppress that man that's not from here. We done?
But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
So any black or Hispanic, you're not allowed to add interest, whether it's money, whether it's food, whether it's anything. If it borrows you a coat or a hat, you're giving that coat and a hat back. He don't owe you nothing else but that. So like, what's the question?
One question, Jesus Rivera asks, what happens if I'm not of the 144? What would happen to me?
Well, your job is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Make sure you keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The 144 is just the governing body, the top people. Just like what we just read. The law put governors, judges, throughout all our tribes, and the 144 are the governors and the judges throughout our tribes in the future. You know what I mean? Just like how you got in England, we got the House of Parliament, and in the House of Parliament are the top judges, the top governors, top MPs, councillors, mayors, and that's what the 144 are. You got 12,000 in Benjamin, that's going to be scattered around Benjamin and governing that land. 12,000 in Judah, that's going to govern that land, and so forth and so forth. So if you got the 144, just keep the commandments and make sure that you're civilian in that land. You don't have to be a 144, but make sure you're civilian. You know, make sure you make it. Don't try, make sure you make it. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? You live your life, have a wife, children, you know what I mean? Have a good business, a lot of land. But to be a governor, be the top, it's not for everybody. Everyone can't be a governor, you know what I mean? Millions also. So, you know what I mean? You make sure you make it like anymore.
Khan.
Should get it in Revelations.
Yeah, the 7th chapter.
7, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll get the Revelation 7.
I might be wrong.
No, it's 7. All right, I'll give you verse 4. 1.
Revelation 7th chapter, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were healed, and there were healed 144,000.
So John saw the number that was sealed. The certain brother that sealed his knowledge in their forehead. That the book of Zechariah is sealed with the knowledge of this Bible in their forehead, in their mind. It's sealed. You know how you got a letter in the wax and you seal it, stamp. The brothers out there in the I.S.U.P.K, they got the knowledge sealed in their foreheads, in their mind. All they think about is this Bible. You know what I mean? That's all they think about is keeping the laws of God. We done?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
And that's who the 144 are, Israelites. You know what I mean? According to Jehovah's Witness, 144 everybody, you know what I mean? Anyone that believes, but according to the Bible, not according to the Watchtower, not according to what's the name?
Oh, got his name. 7 events guy.
Anyway, but not according to the Watchtower, but according to the Bible, the Israelites, you know what I mean? Hispanics, Native Indians, Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Hungarians,
yeah,
Panamanians, Brazilians. Those are the 144. The people that you think, the people that live in favelas, the people that live in shanty towns, in the ghettos, in the slums, they are counted for the 144. No white man can be of the 144,000. No Jehovah's Witness can be of the 144,000. But blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians, we don't know.
Verse 5. Of the tribe of Judah were healed 12,000.
And the tribe of Judah was still 12,000. 12,000 rulers to rule the land of Judah. Read.
Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
And another 12,000 to rule Reuben. It's going to go all the way down to Benjamin. And you know, 12 times 12, 12,000 times 12,000 is 144,000. So in total, there's going to be 144,000 rulers to rule the whole land of Israel. Drop down to verse 9.
Verse 9. After this.
So after this, after he saw the governing body of Israel, people think that this is Christianity, where a beam of light comes down from heaven. No, we need brothers, rulers, people on top, kings, governors to rule this land. How else are we going to know if someone's eating pork? You know what I mean? If someone's eating pork, we can't just kill them on the spot. There's going to be police that arrest them, bring them forth to the judge. The judge opens the book and puts the punishment on them according to the book.
Right.
Just like today, if you're committing a crime, someone calls it in, police come see if it's true, they lock you up. From the lock you up, they have a court date, then you go to the judge, then according to the law of that city, of that state, they do with you accordingly. That's the same here. We got ruling bodies, governors, that's going to make sure everything runs smooth. We don't know.
Right. After this I beheld.
And after this, after he saw the governing body, read.
And lo, a great multitude.
He said, and look, first he saw the governing body of Israel, then look, he saw a great multitude, a great number. This is the rest of Israel that ain't a part of the governing body. Women, children, men. Read on.
Which no man could number.
And no man could number this. That's how much brothers there were. No man could number. So you had the governing body, then you had the civilians. It says no civilians, who are the governors gonna govern?
Right.
It says no civilians, who are the judges gonna judge? These are the civilians, the rest of Israel. You know what I mean? And the same thing happened in the time of Exodus. You had Moses, and Moses set up 70 elders, and who did those elders govern? The civilians of Israel. We done?
Of all nations.
And this multitude of all nations. So this is when Christianity pops in. You got all nations. See everybody here. I mean, that's not what it's saying. We're the ones who's in all nations. We're the one who you can find in Jamaica, Brazil, France, Panama, Puerto Rico. That's why it said of all nations. Because we're scattered into all nations. We done?
All nations and kindreds.
Read.
And people.
Read.
And tongues.
And tongues. We're the one that speaks Spanish, Portuguese, Creole, French, English, and so forth. We're the multitude around the throne, not no heathens, not no strangers. We done?
Stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Read.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Read on.
And the angels stood round about the throne and about the four beasts, and fell before the throne, on their faces and worship God. Verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which be arrayed in white robes?
And this is the multitude that we saw, the civilians, who the Christians say everybody. The elders saying to John, who white robes? Remember we just read the mixed multitude. The multitude that no one could number. They was arrayed in white robes. And this elder is asking, who are these people who are in white robes?
Verse in white robes. And whence came they?
And where did they come from? Who are these people in white robes? And where did they come from? You know what I mean? This is going to cut every Christian who thinks that this multitude was everybody. This multitude ain't everybody. It's blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians.
That's
that
right.
Come from all lands. Read on.
Verse 14. And I said unto him,
to the elder that asked him, who are these brothers here in white robes? Read.
Sir, thou knowest.
And says, you know who they are? Read.
And he said unto me, These are they.
These are they. These brothers in the white robe. These civilians that are around the throne, who every Christian thinks is everybody. Read.
Which came out of great tribulation.
Read that again.
These are they which came out of great tribulation.
And these people in the white robes, this multitude, are they that came out of tribulation. You tell me who's going through tribulation. These are they that came out of tribulations, who came out of fighting crack cocaine and living in poor living conditions, and abortion clinics on every neighborhood, and gangs and shootouts in their neighborhoods, and their women and Christianity and Jehovah's Witnesses and abortions, and their women rebelling against them. That's the great tribulation. Every nation ain't going through tribulation, but black people are. These are they that came out of tribulation, which came out of cargo slave ships, picking cotton, whips on your back, being fed to the dogs, having their bellies cut open. These are they that came out of tribulation, proving that these are the ones, this multitude here are blacks and Hispanics that came out of tribulation. Give me Revelation 2 and 9.
Oh, so in that, you said the white robes. I had a scripture to show that.
I'll get back to you. Give me 2 and 9. All
right, no, sir. All right, cool. All right. All right, Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works.
And God's talking to the Israelites here. I know thy works. He knows how we work hard and we don't get no love for it. How we built up America and we don't get no accolade for that. We built all the inventions and we don't get no accolade for that. God said, I know your works. And what?
And tribulation.
And what?
And tribulation.
Oh, well. But because your pastor don't know the Bible, he's telling people that a great multitudes around Christ for nations, when Christ only died for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
We don't know. But Go on, then, give me the white robes.
The white robes. Revelations 19 and 9. And no, 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
Right, like, hold that. Give me 12. We're going to 12. Because people think, who's that she? Find out who that she is first.
Okay, no, sir. All right. Where we at? Revelations 12 and 1.
Kind of.
Revelations 12 and 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
And this is a vision here. You see a woman clothed, means she's clothed in the sun and the stars, meaning the sun and the moon, which represent wisdom and light. When you're in darkness and you can't see and you're confused, what do you need to give you your path? You need light. And this woman got that light. She got the wisdom and understanding. Read on.
And under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Of what?
A crown of 12 stars.
And this woman with a knowledge and understanding of 12 stars. This woman here is the children of Israel with all the knowledge. We got the knowledge. We were given the knowledge of what to eat and what not to eat. While every nation was getting tapeworms and heart disease, we wasn't getting that because we had the sun and the moon. We was clothed with the sun and the moon, and we had the knowledge of what to eat and what not to eat. When everyone else was breaking out in plagues and rashes, we had to learn how to wash after sex. And if we touch a dead body or a dead carcass, they didn't have that. You know why? Because we was clothed with the sun and the moon. We had that knowledge. Give me some more other one. What other knowledge do we have?
About if a dead body, it should be buried without outside.
We was burying our dead bodies because we had the knowledge. This book is given to us. The Most High gave us laws. He gave us all the knowledge, and that knowledge was given to Israel only. And this woman represents Israel. So I could go back to 19:8.
Can. Revelations 19 and 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
There you go. And this woman, Israel, was arrayed in fine linen. This is when Israel puts down pork, stop celebrating Christmas, stop being homosexuals. We get that white, clean robe. That's the mixed multitude that had that robe on, because they put down Christmas, they put down homosexuality, they put down sleeping with next man's wives. We done?
Clean and white.
And clean and white. How do you get a clean and white garment? When you put down all your sins, when you put down sniffing coke or putting heroin in your veins, when you stop having sex with white women, when you stop killing a brother that owes you 10 pounds, when you stop hating your brothers, that's how you get that clean white robe. We done?
For the fine letter, so it's like, yeah, for the fine letter linen is the righteousness of the saints.
And righteousness is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You can find that in Luke 1 and 6. And the saints are Israel. You can find that in Psalms 147.
Okay.
The last two verses. The saints are Israel. No, it's not.
No, Psalms 148.
Psalms 148. The saints are the Israelites, and that's who was arrayed in white around the throne. So yeah, if you don't make it to be a 144, you can be a civilian. Don't aim for that. You know what I mean? You aim to be a 144. You make sure. I'm not gonna say try your best. You make sure. The Bible says to make that election sure.
That's right.
So you make sure you make it. You better aim to be a 144. You better be in these classes, keeping every law, statute, and commandment. You know what I mean? If the kingdom come and I find out you at 144, I'm gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? You better stop saying today. But any more questions?
Yes, one more. To know about not been booked to perform / attend. Would I be committing a sin if I went?
Yeah, I don't really bear that bad news, but yeah. See, people think that carnival is actually a West Indian thing. That's what they taught us. Carnival predates West Indian culture. You know what I mean? The word carnival comes from a Latin word meaning carnivore, meaning not to eat meat. And as you see in the Catholic Church, they abstain from meats. You also find that in the book of Timothy, where it says, some shall depart from the faith, and they will forbid to eat meat. And that's what the Catholic, hence why it's called carnivore, meaning not eating meat. You know what I mean? Because the Catholics, on certain days, they won't eat meat, or have a season called Lent where they abstain from eating meat. That's where it comes from. You know what I mean? And the whole carnival concept is just Roman. The whole orgy thing, and everyone dancing half naked, banging up the drums. It was basically one big orgy. That's the origin of carnival. You know what I mean? And it's not hard to understand. Look what it brings, man. I've never been to a carnival yet where shootout ain't happen, you know what I mean? Or stabbing ain't happen. You know what I mean? So it shows for itself. But yes, it's a whole orgy, and plus the suits that they dress up in, you know what I mean? They're dressing up like the sun and the moon and peacocks. You know what I mean? Actually, these Roman gods. It's one big orgy. If you do research on it, it's written in the book of Galatians, I think, was talking about raveling. That's your carnival right there, man. That's your raveling. You know what I mean? Now they don't even see policeman get a look away from black woman and that.
I seen a picture.
What's the community, man?
He's trying his hardest to keep up.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the you can Google it as well, because when I first came into the truth, I Googled it and the knowledge is there. It's not a West Indian thing. It's also happened in Portugal, also in India. It predates that. You know what I mean? Carnival is straight pagan. You know, it's really originally it was one big orgy, but you know, now today they kind of tone it down, put on a bit of clothes, and you know what I mean? Just widen each other a bit, but that weren't the initial purpose. I think for the Feast of Bacchus.
That's right, in the book of Maccabees.
Exactly, that was it. People's babbling and going on crazy. So, okay, any more questions?
A lot. That's
all right, cool. What's I going with that now? All right, jump back to Leviticus 19 to 34.
Right, Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 34. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you.
There you go. So, you know, if we got a black man and, you know, it happens to land up in Birmingham, we got to treat him like one born amongst us. We can't be like, nah, man, this man from Manchester, you know, his accent's annoying. You know what I mean? It goes to one of your shops, Prussia, you know what I mean? Like, how much for this? You went out, it's £5. Well, you hear his accent, that's £10, you know. You know what I mean? That's what's not supposed to happen. That's what it means about the stranger that comes in your land. You can't treat me like that. You know what I mean? I know, man, I'm from England, so a lot of us got family in Jamaica. And what happens when we go to Jamaica? Even though we're the same people, you can't just come out there with your British accent and start talking. What happened? You get overcharged, you get robbed. Why? Because they're not loving stranger. You're their brother. Your grandparents are their grandparents. You know what I mean? You're all related. But what happens when you go to their land being a stranger? They overcharge you. Your own family beg you for your own clothes. You know what I mean? They laugh at your accent. You know what I mean? Because they are not applying this law. But who are they applying this law to? The white man. You know what I mean? The white man's robbing the love you're supposed to get. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to go to London scared, worried about these South London gangs. I'm supposed to go to London, see a brother. He's supposed to say, oh, where you from? You're from Birmingham. Oh, you're good. Yeah, if it's cool, how you doing? You know what I mean? Need any help? I'm around the corner. You know, where's such a road? He's not supposed to lead me the wrong direction. He's supposed to it's round the corner, around there. You know what I mean? First, right? That's what's supposed to happen. So if a brother was coming from the land of Judah to the land of Benjamin for work or so forth, you're not supposed to work him hard and say he's not from around here. I can't stand it, man. You know what? I'm gonna make him work overtime. You know what? I charge all my servants £5 an hour, but I'm gonna charge him £1 an hour. You know what I mean? Because he's not from around here. These men are all cool. I know this. Like, I know his grandma. I know his mom. You know what I mean? Me and him at the same primary school, but him, now he's a stranger, man. You know what I mean? Treat him like crap. Nah, that's what this Bible's getting at. You're not supposed to treat him like that. Read that again.
Verse 34. But the stranger that dwelleth with you.
So that brother that's not from your land, he's not from your city, he's not from your town. He may have a different accent. He may wear his clothes a bit different. You know what I mean? Like he may come over where he come from. You know, Jamaicans wear little. They got them brains sticking up. You know what I mean? They're just a bit different. They got their own little swag and stuff. But you can't treat him different just because he's a stranger. He don't come from around here. You know what I mean? Brothers in America, they wear their clothes more baggy than we do. We can't look at him because he's different. You know what I mean? He does things in his land a bit different and treat him weird. We don't know.
Shall be unto you as one born among you.
So I would treat him. I would treat a brother American that comes with the baggy clothes. You know what I mean? Comes with that big afro. I would treat him the same way I would treat a brother that born in Dollar Hospital, born and raised in Birmingham. I can't treat him different because he got an accent that I can't stand, or he's not from around here. He don't know the ropes. You know what I mean? Let me just treat my brothers that I grew up with better. That's not supposed to happen. You know what I mean? You're supposed to go anywhere in the world. You're supposed to go to Puerto Rico and not speak a lick of Spanish and be taken care of, have food in your belly. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be robbed. Our brother's not supposed to say, yeah, just tip the left and go to the right. And when you bust the left and go to the right, it's a dark alley. You know what I mean? You're getting robbed. Kind of.
That's funny. A friend of mine, one of his uncles, he went to Cuba to live, and he's dead. He went there and they ended up killing him.
There you go. We were applying this law. You know what I mean? You can thank Christianity for that. Due to Christianity, guess who we was treating good? Guess who we were oppressing? The white man. You know what I mean? The white man is the only man that I know on planet Earth that can come to the ghetto with a suit and tie and is safe. He's more safe than the black man with a gun in the ghetto. You know what I mean? You got a gun in the ghetto thinking you're safe. The white man comes with a suit and tie. He's more safe. You know what I mean? I've seen white people walk through Aston to watch a football game with their kids and children, and no one touches them. Meanwhile, you as a black man, born and raised, know everyone in the neighborhood, you got to come in before 9. You know what I mean? You can't take the subway. You're walking over the busy part of the road and risking your life. You can't go under there, but the white man, he can. Because this scripture here, and these pastors and Christians, the white man got love. You're supposed to get, black man. This is your love. You're supposed to go anywhere in the world. You're supposed to go Nottingham, knowing that you're from Essex and be fine. You're supposed to go to Puerto Rico, knowing that you're from America and be fine. But there is a man that gets his love. That's the white man. He can walk anywhere. I've been Jamaica. I've seen tourists walking around fine. I've seen tourists walking around Jamaica lost. And Jamaicans are scared of them. Like, oh, yeah, you know, they start twanging and toning down the accent. Yeah. What you want to do is go around there and talking the Queen's language. Meanwhile, now, me from England, you know what I mean? My grandparents, probably your grandparents, we're probably related. You want to overcharge me? You know what I mean? Jump in a taxi, man telling you about it's £100. You know what I mean? Because you don't understand the money.
I got a question online. Or you can't hold it. Right, Sister Yvonne goes, even though I don't speak, I do run a page on Facebook spreading the word of the Most High. Am I wrong in doing this?
No. Like, this you don't speak. This is the Sister, to make it clear. Do you like upload UPK videos or, you know, pictures and so forth like on Facebook? When you mean you don't speak, you're not on the camera teaching, but you upload videos and you push through as much as you can. You know, you do them kind of things there. I'll wait for the answer. But yeah, give me Exodus 12. Did it go there already?
No, you didn't.
12:48.
All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse. Right, and when a stranger shall sojourn and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof.
There you go. So these Christians say, you I.S.U.P.K, you're wicked, man. You don't have white people in your camp, but the Bible says the stranger, the white man, he can eat the Passover. So why do you say no, he was allowed to eat Passover? You know what I mean? That's what they say. But if these idiots read a couple of verses above, give me verse 43.
Exodus 12 and verse 43. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, this ordinance of the Passover, there shall no stranger eat thereof.
Read that again.
And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover.
So the Lord's breaking down the ordinance of the Passover. Ordinance is how things are set up. You know what I mean? If you read it above, it tells you how the Lord wants the Passover roasted, not boiled. You know what I mean? He wants it seasoned, not bland. You know what I mean? The ordinance is how everything's set up. He's telling Moses and Aaron how it's supposed to be set up, how you're supposed to eat the Passover with your sandals on, loins girded. This is the ordinance, the order of the Passover. Read.
there shall no stranger eat thereof.
And no stranger can't eat this Passover. No Chinese man, no Arab man, white man can eat this Passover. So blacks and Hispanics only. But again, why is your pastor skipping this verse, going down 5 verses below and saying the stranger can't eat the Passover? The reason why, he don't know the Bible and he's not reading it in context. If you read this Bible in Hebrew, there's 2 different words for stranger. There's a different stranger in the verse above. There's a different word for stranger in the verse below. One meaning a stranger, one who's not Israelite, one meaning someone who's foreign to the land. Go back to verse 48.
Verse 48. And when the stranger shall sojourn with thee.
So when a man from the land of Benjamin comes and travels to the land of Judah, when a man from the tribe of Naphtali comes to Benjamin, when a man from Zebulun comes to the land of Ephraim, sojourn means to travel. When a stranger sojourns to read,
and will keep the Passover.
And he wants to keep the Passover. This is a brother that's not from that. He's not from around here. He's not familiar around here. Read.
Let all his males be circumcised.
And you got to make sure that man, that Israelite man who's not from here, make sure he's circumcised first. Read.
And then let him come here and keep it.
And he shall keep the Passover. That black man who's not from around here, that black man who's born somewhere else, he can keep the Passover if he's circumcised first. Read on.
And he shall be as one that is born in the land.
And that man like one born in the land. You don't treat him like he's not from around here. You treat him like he was born in the same town you was born in. Like he was never a stranger. You treat him like he was. If you're from the land of Ephraim, you treat him like he's from the land of Ephraim. If you're from Judah, you treat that same man like he's from Judah. That's what it means. Does the Bible contradict itself? In the same chapter, 5 verses above, it said the stranger can't eat. So you need to get understanding.
The sister replied back. She goes, "Yes, that's right. I upload brothers preaching."
Yeah, and there's no problem in that. You know what I mean? You want to upload the brothers at I.S.U.P.K, you got family members, you know what I mean, that want to hear the truth, or friends, or family members that have friends, and so forth and so forth. Just you push this, man. You know what I mean? You click that share button, you push it, you do your part. You know what I mean? It's all you can do, sister. You know what I mean? You support the truth, say your tithes. You know what I mean? If you, any way you can help, you know, hit the number, and you know, we have counsel. And if you can help any way you can help, then that's fine. But yeah, man, you push that. You push about everyone online to push these classes. You know what I mean? Support any way you can. Any more questions?
Brother Ye goes, is circumcision necessary for an Israelite? And if so, should the procedure be performed by an Israelite?
Okay. Now what it is? But let me get scripture first. The law was every Israelite should be circumcised on the 8th day, but we weren't circumcised on the 8th day. We weren't. So what happened was in the New Testament, you had these stuck-up scribes and Pharisees saying that those of us that weren't circumcised on the 8th day, we can't come back. So Paul cut them and went in the scripture about he would rather our heart be circumcised, meaning our mind be circumcised. The same way how you cut the foreskin and throw it away. That's the same way we cut prostitution from our minds and throw it away. We cut that drug dealing away and throw it away. We cut that adultery away and throw it away. That's the same way how a man will get circumcised. We circumcise our minds. So you got scripture from that?
Got it, yeah. Deuteronomy 10 and verse 16.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All right, Deuteronomy 10 and 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart.
There you go. And the Most High, when we did get circumcised, circumcision was like a blood covenant with us and the Most High. It was like, you know how some of these African people got tribal scars to show where they come from. We had circumcision. You know, it's like being initiated or jumped into a gang. The Most High wanted us to feel pain. You know, like a token to show that we are Israelites. That's what circumcision was for. We done?
And be no more stiff-necked.
And be no more stiff-necked. Give me circumcision of the heart.
I got it. Colossians 2:11.
Yeah.
Colossians 2 and 11. In whom also ye are circumcised.
So in Christ, we're circumcised. Even though we weren't physically circumcised on the 8th day, our parents was in the Christian church. Our parents were following the laws. So we didn't get circumcised on the 8th day. And therefore, it's too late. You know what I mean? Nobody gets circumcised now. The 8th day, we missed it. So what can we do? So through Christ, we are circumcised.
With the circumcision made without hands.
Made without hands. That circumcision made without hands. We ain't got our foreskin cut off, but we're still circumcised. We keep the laws. We follow Christ. And that's how we're circumcised. Our mind is circumcised. Our hearts are circumcised. We cut away all them lusts we used to do, all the sleeping around, all the white girls people used to pop. I was going to say me, them. I was like, nah. You know what I mean? The force can throw it away. We've cut all that sin off from our mind. We don't think about it no more. And we're throwing it away anymore.
There's more, yeah. In putting off the body of the sins of the flesh.
That's how we're circumcised. By cutting away all them sinful flesh things we used to do, all the things we wanted to do, and not the things that God wanted us to do. We circumcise our mind when we put down cigarettes, when we put down homosexuality, when we put down cutting up our beards and shaving our heads bald. Anyone that?
Your sins of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ.
That's circumcision. That's a true circumcision. Any more questions now?
Another brother, he has to do. We need to get circumcised, but we've already went through that already. So.
Okay, so and now they gotta be careful, man. That circumcision stuff. Yo, a lot of these doctors now straight homosexual pedos, man. You hear about them kids getting their rod socks and all that.
Getting them herpes.
Yo, but give me excerpts 12:43.
Also, like, if I can add, when you're young and you get circumcised, it's safe, but taking it as a big man, even some doctors warn you that it can be very risky and it can be very dangerous as well. So, you know what I mean? Even though the Bible's saying that you're following the law and that, but getting it at like 27 and all that, that's
now, man.
That's yeah. It's not
gonna be 25, 35.
Right, Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger.
Oh, fine, I missed that.
No, sir. Leviticus 25 and verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor. If thy brother,
there you go. So this is the context. If your brother, your fellow black, Hispanic, or native Indian man, your brother, we done?
Be waxen poor.
And who we talking about here? Your brother. If your brother is poor, if you see a black man who ain't as rich as you, you know what I mean? His kids are struggling to go to school. You know, he don't have the flashiest car out there. He don't have the best job. He ain't got the suit and tie on. He don't live in the best of neighborhoods. He's waxen poor. Read.
And fallen in decay with thee.
25,
verse which one? Verse 35.
Yeah,
can. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee,
and your brother's falling in decay, decaying is to rot away. This man ain't living the best of lives.
Then thou shalt relieve him.
Are you trying to relieve him? This brother, keep in mind, this man is a brother. He come from the same forefathers you come from. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He also comes from that bloodline. This man is your brother. We done?
Though he be a stranger.
Though he be a what?
Though he be a stranger.
So this brother is a stranger. This man who's your brother, who's an Israelite just like you, he's a stranger. That's a cut right there. This is how. So these ain't my words. The Bible saying your brother could also be a stranger. If according to you, strangers are non-Israelites, how can he be a brother and a non-Israelite? You know what I mean? You can't be two people. This brother is a stranger. You know what I mean? You see a brother, you know, he's not from around here. He had a hard life. You know what I mean? He's far away from home. He's a stranger. And he's a brother at the same time. It's going to tell you how to deal with his brother who's a stranger. Have you done?
or a sojourner,
or sojourner, a traveler, for whatever reason, his brother's traveling. Probably life weren't so good for him in his town. Probably he wants to have a new life. For him, work is a bit dry up in his land, and opportunities are better in your land, in your gates, in your tribe. We done?
so though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
This man has to live with you. You can't see him out there on the streets raining. You know what I mean? He's really curtain up, man. You know what I mean? That's wrong. You can't do it to a fellow black man. We done?
Verse 36, take thou no usury of him.
And we done it. Who can't you take usury from? Who can't you add interest to? According to Exodus, a fellow black man, Hispanic man, a native Indian.
That's right.
Read.
Or increase,
We done?
but fear thy God.
There you go. Fear the Most High. You can fear the Most High by keeping the laws. And what does the law say? You can add no interest on him, either money, whether food, whether clothing. Anymore.
May live with thee.
That who?
That thy brother may live with thee.
The same stranger, call him a brother again. So that proves that the stranger ain't always a non-Israelite. It's a brother. You know what I mean? And we had laws like this in the Bible, but we didn't exercise them. And today, in 2016, if we exercise these laws, a brother wouldn't feel no way. We wouldn't have these gang-related wars. A brother could go anywhere. He wouldn't have to worry about colors he's wearing. You wouldn't have to be a British born with Jamaican roots going back to Jamaica, worrying about, I need family to pick me up from the airport. You could jump in any cab and not end up on the news. You know what I mean? But because you don't apply these laws, that's why we got all these problems. It's like Deuteronomy 15 and 12. No.
Letter. All right, Deuteronomy 15 and 12. And if thy brother and Hebrew man,
And that's who your brother is. Your brother's a Hebrew man. Just making it plain, because you know what I mean? These Christians might say, well, your brother's everybody. The Bible says your brother's a Hebrew man, a fellow black man, Hispanic man, native Indian. Look at the 12 tribes sign here. These are your brothers. You know what I mean? If you haven't noticed, white man are on there. You know what I mean? Chinese man are on there. Arab man are on there. So all you brothers that like white woman, she ain't on there. She's not your brother. She's not your sister. These are the people you're supposed to treat well. But again, these are the people who we treat bad. I know brothers who hate Jamaican people. Like, I hate Yardis, man. When your grandparents are Jamaican also. You know what I mean? Because we've been taught to hate each other. Just because this man dresses different, has a different accent, still speaks English, comes from a couple hundred, born in a different country. The only difference is your grandparents chose to come here, where his grandparents chose to stay. That's all that happened. You know what I mean? Your granddad brought his seed over here and made you here, whether his grandparents stayed in Jamaica and kept his seed in Jamaica, yet you think it's different. You want to treat him different.
Yeah, there was a video, I think it was in like Brixton or something. There was on the bus and like a British Benjamite was arguing with a Jamaican Benjamite, calling her illiterate and silly. And thing is, she sounded just like her, but you know what I mean? She just thinks because she was born in the UK that makes her different from her.
It's silly because technically you were born anywhere. It so happens when your parents decide to migrate. Like there's Jamaicans that are born in Canada and stuff. It so happens, you know what I mean? It's your granddad took himself and his sperm to England. You know what I mean? And so, and he was born in a different land. You know, therefore he picked up the culture of different people. But you know what I mean? That's why these scriptures have to be there, because black people just, you know what I mean? We seem to think that we're better off to be born here and your land's different. And you know, I'm from London. You know what I mean? You're from Birmingham or a little country.
Yeah, country.
You're from countryside, man. You know what I mean? It's a shame. You know, in Jamaica itself, you got all over that country people that don't like this. In America, like New York people that say that look down on other states. You know, it's black people for you. You know what I mean? All right, Khan. Drop me 69.8. We get living, all right.
I'm here. All right, Psalm 69 and 8. I am become a stranger.
And this is King David talking. Now we all know King David from the tribe of Judah, the same lineage as Christ. You know King David ain't a stranger. Read that again.
I am become a stranger unto my brethren.
Now, how can you, now if a stranger is a non-Israelite, now you tell me, so you're telling me King David is no longer Israelite. You know what I mean? He changed his nationality. You know what I mean? You can't change your DNA code. How was King David a stranger to the brethren? Because again, he's on the run from Saul's land. He's become distant with the brethren. He's on the run, hiding in and out of caves. Therefore, the stranger to the brethren, he's not at home comfortably in the land where he was born. He's on the run. King Saul's after him. He's on the run. He's hiding in and out of caves. You know what I mean? In one city of Israel for a week or so, on the run again, hiding in and out of caves. A stranger? Oh my God.
And like that, and like with that, that's heavy because how they was treating him, you wouldn't treat a brother like that. So that's why he's saying he's a stranger. Because wouldn't treat brother.
That's how they were treating him rough in these places. King Saul was treating him rough. You know what I mean? Pursuing this man like he's a heathen when the man did nothing wrong. They treat him like he's a stranger. So can you read it one more time, please?
Psalm 69 and 8. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children.
And that's how he felt. He felt like he was a stranger, he felt distant because he's in and out of caves, on the run. He's not in the land where he was born, where he grew up in. So therefore, he was a stranger. Don't mean he was a heathen. King David from the tribe of Judah. Judah is the fourth born son of a man called Israel. He's our brothers. Christ came out of the line of King David, which is a Judite. So he's our people. He ain't no heathen. But again, you need to understand him. You're not going to know this if you don't come in the I.S.U.P.K and learn this Bible. Right, drop that. Give me Judges 19:1.
Right, the book of Judges, chapter 19 and verse 1. And it came to pass in those days there was no king in Israel.
Okay, this book is called the book of Judges because at that time we didn't have a king. We had judges like what we read before, judges in all our gates that would judge the people, govern us, tell us where we're going off at, what we're supposed to do. We had judges, we done.
In Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim.
So keep in mind the Levite man, who's sojourning, traveling, like what we read in Deuteronomy, like what we read in Exodus, Leviticus. This man is sojourning, he's traveling, we done.
Who took him a concubine.
So this man was sojourning in Ephraim, which he's allowed to do. We're allowed to go for our brothers' tribes. We're allowed to do so. They're our brothers. Again, we're not from there. We don't know how things run there. You know, we don't know the locals there, but we can go there for whatever purpose we can, for business purposes, marriage purposes, to set up a new life. We can do so. And this man was sojourning or traveling in Ephraim. We done.
Out of Bethlehem, Judah.
So this man went looking for his concubine. You know, that concubine is a woman that you get from war. You know what I mean? And he, this man, his concubine came from Bethlehem. Bethlehem, which means house of bread. Bayaf Lakam in the Hebrew. You know what I mean? But Bayaf means house, Lakam means bread. And this is where his wife was, in Bethlehem, Judah. What's a heathen doing going back home to Judah? You know what I mean? This is a woman that he won from war. We done?
Verse 2. And his concubine played the whore against him.
And his concubine had sex with other men. She played the whore against him. We done?
And went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months.
So his concubine had sex with somebody else, and then ran and left his Levite, and ran from Ephraim all the way to Judah back, which is a long journey. We done?
Verse 3. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her.
So this man's, you know, a bit, I won't say it's a bit soft, you know what I mean? You know, the MC Maury show when the baby's like his, man was running after the girl, you know. This man went running after the concubine that played the whore on him, that had sex with other men on him. all the way to beg for them to get her back, to speak kind of to her. You know, something like, you know, it's okay. We can put this in the past. I know you made mistakes. That's what this man did. That's why what this man did that. You know what I mean?
It's funny to you because now we can just jump on like Thomas Cook or something and just go there. He had to get on a horse and take a boat trip
and get water and stuff. I know. Or probably not. What Thomas Cook? Probably now. That's too close.
That's too close.
You're probably playing today. But you carry on.
All right, and to bring her again, having his servant with him.
So this man, he's set on a journey to get his woman back. You know what I mean? He got a servant with him. You know, you need a man to, you know, accompany. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, I'm going there, get my wife back. Tell us, okay, I want you back. We put this behind us, all them things. You know?
And a couple of asses, and she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him.
So this man, you know, he went to the father's house. The father saw him, he's happy to see him, you know what I mean? But this man's on a mission, wants his woman back. You done?
Verse 4, and his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So did they eat and drink, and Ajde.
So he stayed at his house for 3 days, you know, he's wealthy, he ate and drink, you know, had a good time. He lacked when he got hungry, you know what I mean? The man took care of him, showed him good hospitality. Verse 5.
And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning.
So early in the morning, you know what I mean? You know, whenever in the way, you want to get there early, you know, he wants to travel at night time, when in the morning, right? You want to travel in the evening, when you got 2 hours of sunlight. When you hit 6 o'clock, you got like what? 12 hours of sunlight.
That's right.
You know?
That he rose up to depart.
So he got up so he can get back home to the town. A long journey. He didn't want to be traveling at night time, you know what I mean? It's colder at night time. You know what I mean? God knows what kind of animals are out at night time. He wants to get there early.
I got a question. So you want me to?
Yeah, can't speak something.
I know. So, and the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterwards go your way.
So morsels about peace.
That's right.
Down for a bit, eat some food, man. Then you can go. You know, people that press it too hard. Like, have one drink, man. Before you eat, man, one drink. You know what I mean? That's what the father's doing here. Saying one piece of bread that you can cut. Are we done?
Verse 6. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night.
So the father's saying, if you're from Jamaican background, you guys start tarrying me all the time. So, come tarry, man. You know, chill for the day, man, stay. But this man woke up early to cut. You know what I mean? He ain't looking to stay. But the father says, please stay. You know, press on and be all nice and stuff. Read.
And let thy heart be merry.
We done?
And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again.
So again, this man was pressing, stay home at night, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Me and your family, man. Like, come on. That little quick visit, that's nothing, man. You know what I mean? Stay longer. So the man just, you know, gave in, stayed again. We done.
Verse 8. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart.
Read.
And the damsel's father said, comfort thine heart, I pray thee.
So the damsel said it again. It's a bit longer, man. You know, it's a bit quick, man. Stay a bit longer. So this time, he left in the afternoon. He woke up in the morning to leave. We said, okay, you know what I mean? Stay a bit longer. Afternoon now, read.
And they tarried until afternoon.
Read.
And they did eat, both of them.
Read.
Verse 9. And when the man arose to depart,
Read.
he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father said unto him, behold, now the day draweth towards the evening.
So the damsel, as you're about to leave, the same damsel that said to stay till afternoon, you know. The same say, yo, it's getting kind of dark, you know. It's kind of drawing towards the evening, you know what I mean? We done?
I pray you, tarry all night.
So you say, you might as well stay. Get kind of dark, get kind of cold. Me personally, I will stay. You know, I don't really advise you on the road so late, you know. We done?
Behold, the day groweth to an end.
There you go. So you get to the end. That's been night time too. Me, I just say stay, to be honest. You know what I mean? I know you woke up early. I know I pressed you a bit to stay, but it's getting kind of late. You know what I mean? You're over. You know what I mean? Let's just stay. We done?
Lodge here, that thine heart may be that thy heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way.
So he did it again, like, it's late, man. Anything tomorrow go home, but today it's jam. Yo, it's late out there. I would advise you to go out there. Read.
That thou mayest go home.
Read.
Verse 10. But the man would not tarry that night.
But the man was nah, man. You know what I mean? It's like 3 days now. I got to move. I know it's late, but sorry, I got to go. Read.
But he rose and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem.
Read.
And there were with him 2 asses, Adod, his concubine also was with him.
So this man is passing to Jerusalem now and going home on a mission. He has 2 asses with him and his concubine. Read on.
Verse 11. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent, and the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of the Jebusites.
So as the walking is getting late and walking to Jerusalem, his servant says, you know what, let's just chill here. You know what I mean? They must have a hotel here or a hospital or something. You know what I mean? But this land is the land of the Jebusites, which is an African country. So let's see what this man says. We done?
And lodged
in this African country again. Come on, man. It's late and tired. Let's just chill in this African country 10 minutes. You know what I mean? For the day and we leave in the morning. Like we does.
Verse 12. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger.
So he's saying, anyone that ain't from the 12 tribes, I'm not going to their cities. Anyone that ain't on this 12 tribe sign, I'm not going to any of their cities. We done?
That is not of the children of Israel.
Read.
We will pass over to Gibeah.
So I'm not going to any land that's not of the children of Israel. None. That's not the children of Israel. Not anyone online. From what we just read, from what's in the law, why did this man feel comfortable? Well, he thought it was comfortable, but why did he feel comfortable to go to a land of his brethren and not of a land of a heathen? Why did he feel that way? I'll give you a minute to answer that. So I want to say something.
It's called the Jebusites because we didn't kick them all out of the land, so they had little towns and places. So they went to Jebusites that had their little forts and villages.
No one line now.
Later, it's just up now. So. So I got a question as well later.
Nothing now?
Later.
Okay, you want to answer it?
Why? Because the law says that a stranger, you should treat him as thyself. So exactly. He knew if I go to them, then they'll look after him, take care of him.
Exactly. That's bang on. You know what I mean? This man knew the law. And I'm not going to go to no strange nation, but no strange nation that could do anything to me. They could overcharge me, kill me. I'm going to go with Israel because I feel comfortable with Israel. Because even though I don't know them, according to the law, they can't treat me bad. Therefore, I'm cool. You know what I mean? They can't overcharge me. I don't have to pop up to a hotel room and they'll be like, yeah, that's $1,000 for the night, you know. $1,000, yeah, $1,000 for the night, you know. But that sign says 100. Yeah, that's what. That's for locals.
It's old.
It's also old sign. You know what I mean? If I'm comfortable, but you know, to come to find out, it didn't go so. But this is what this man expected because the law said so. Have you done? 13.
Verse 13. And he said unto his servants, Come and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or Ramah.
So the man saying, let's go to Gibeah or Ramah. This man is going to a Jebusite country. He's like, these are the closest. We're going to Gibeah or Ramah. Both of these cities are Benjamite cities. I think Gibeah is a capital.
I believe so.
I can't remember. I got to look in the Bible dictionary. Well, I think Gibeah is the capital. This man, these heathen nations, in his mind, he's sticking to one of the nation of Israel, because he knows, according to the law, if you're a stranger, you can have the weirdest accent, craziest dresses. Oh, it don't matter. You know what I mean? If you're an Israelite, they have to treat you right. You know what I mean? Even though it's late, even though thieves come out at night, he don't have to worry about no one pickpocketing him. He don't have to worry about taking a wrong turn and ending up in a dark alley. He don't have to worry about, you know what I mean? You know that the old car trick, man. You know, you're far away from home.
Yeah.
Or someone hits you from behind.
Yeah.
You jump out and get robbed.
And take car.
He doesn't have to worry about none of that. Because he's an Israelite and he knows the law. You know?
The 14th verse, and they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them.
So it's dark now. It's pitch black. Read.
When they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin.
And they went to Gibeah, which belonged to Benjamin. Belonged to what you know as West Indians today. That's where, you know what I mean? People think that it's just called the land of Benjamin. You know, people think it's part of the fairy tale. Yeah, it's called the land of Benjamin. And in Benjamin, you have cities. Like you got London, but in London, you got boroughs. In London, you got areas, different postcodes. And in Benjamin, you had the city of Gibeah, which I believe was the capital. You got the Bible history?
Kind of got it.
You look up Gibeah for me.
All right, no, sir. Want me to keep reading?
You can, I'm not just sure. You can multitask.
I'm going to find out. All right, where's that verse? Turned aside either to go in and lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat down in a street of the city.
So he went into the city and sat down. We done?
For there was no man that took him into his house to lodging.
And that's why he sat in the street, because no man would take him in. And this, the law in Exodus was to stop this. That's why it was made. This law was made so that a brother from out of town could be lost and still have roof over his head, could still have food in his stomach. But they would apply this law when that law was made for that reason. For this reason here, for brothers like this who's coming from out of town, who want some food, who don't have to stay outside with wild beasts or stray dogs, right. He can get a roof over his head. That law was made for this, but these brothers ain't exercising this law. Imagine this man, he specifically went into the town for that reason, thinking that they'll keep the law, but they're not keeping it. And the Most High put that law in the Bible so brothers like him don't have to sit down with what 3 asses, a servant, and a woman on the road. You know what I mean? So like you got the definition of Gibeah.
Yeah, Gibeah out of the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. A city of Benjamin, Joshua 18 and 28. Let's get some more.
Let's say it was located like Eastwood or.
Oh, you can't cut. Of Benjamin, it is Aden tell full.
So if you go to Israel today and you go to a city called Tel Aviv, the ancient name for that is Gibeah. This is where this man was here.
Right.
According to scholars and geography.
And it says on the east side of the northwest road, a few miles north of Jerusalem, and on a height commanding view of the Atta.
And that's what it is. It's north side of Jerusalem. We just read. Didn't say this man cut through Jerusalem.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So Tel Aviv is what it's called today, but here it's called Gibeah, the city of Gibeah, or the in the land of Benjamin. And this man's outside, can't get no food, no one taking him in. He's a stranger. And these brothers were following the law. What would they do? They'll say, you know, where you from? Oh, you're not from around here. You know, from my house? Well, these brothers ain't keeping the law. And it's a shame because this man went to the city for that reason, thinking that they take him in.
Right.
And look how man treating him. It's like you read that.
Where's the outside verse?
It's like 16, though. No, it's about
you verse 16.
Yeah, I think 14, you know.
No,
15.
All right. And they turned aside either to go in and lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat down in a street of the city.
This man got to the city and sat down in the streets. And there's a colon there. Gonna explain why he's in the street. Why isn't this man in a hotel? Why isn't this man in someone's house? Why is not treating him with hospitality? We done?
For there was no man that took them into the house to lodging.
There you go. No one took them in. No one saw this brother from out of town and said, you know, we come to my house. You know what I mean? Most I willing, you know what I mean? I wish all your brothers could feel the same way, but you know, what when we went to Passover in America, you know, we were treated good, man. You know what I mean? As soon as we landed, you know what I mean, with the officer from the I.S.U.P.K with his car ready, you know what I mean? Took our suitcases. You know why? Because we studied them laws in the Bible, man.
Right.
We know how to treat a stranger, someone that's not from your land, but is your brother, someone that may have a strange accent, may dress a bit different, things may run a bit different in his land. We know how to treat them. But brothers today don't know how to. They rather a white man come with his map upside down, lost. You know, you show them the best of respect, man. A white man could pull up in front of some gangbangers talking about school, you know, which way is to Compton. You know what I mean? And you were given the right directions. Meanwhile, now, me from England come, you know what I mean? You send me to a death trap, you know what I mean? But that wasn't so. We had laws on how to treat a stranger. You know what I mean? You come to the I.S.U.P.K, you come to Passover, you come to that you come to the I.S.U.P.K cookout. Brothers from Chicago, brothers from California that are not from New York, you know what I mean? And they get put up in the house, they get picked up, you know what I mean? Dropped to the Passover, get picked up and get dropped to the barbecue. So we know how to treat a stranger, we know how to treat our brothers, you know what I mean? The brothers that get lodged up in the I.S.U.P.K, you know what I mean? We don't care if the house is rammed 10 man, we make it 11 man in there, we don't care, you get me? I've been in brothers' house in the I.S.U.P.K and they cook me a big meal. I don't charge me a penny. You remember Crash? You remember America? Some American food. I can't remember what it was. You know what I mean? Like some potato salad and that. But yo, the brothers in I.S.U.P.K, they follow the laws in the Bible, man. You know what I mean? We got our belly full. You know what I mean? Try to pull out some money, give the brothers like, nah, it's okay, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because we follow the laws in the Bible. Evidently, here these brothers ain't following that. The government got this brother outside with his woman and his servant. You know what I mean? What's this on it?
Kind of like with that land, it was strange. I'm supposed to, like, we could walk into the left side of the car thinking
exactly. We're the strangers. We are the strangers that is speaking of. We're strange this land. You know, I don't know what. No, you see how big the road was. The man crossing the corner. I'm strange to that, man. You know, when we cross in the middle. You know what I mean? I'm strange to that land. The man, they don't even have roundabouts. You know, everywhere's a T junction. You know what I mean? I'm strange to that land. I don't know that land. You know what I mean? I don't know about JFK airport. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? After the cars are come, pick man up, treat the stranger. He knows how to not oppress the stranger. You know, read on.
Verse 16, and behold, there came an old man from his work out in the field at even.
So the man that came out from his work, came out from his job. This is what this man does to get paid. He's in the field. And his job's finished now, and he come out the field, read on.
Which also was of Mount Ephraim.
And this man also was from Ephraim. It so happened his man from the same location as the Levite that's lost, you know what I mean? Read on.
And he sojourned in Gibeah.
And he also is a sojourner. He also is a traveler also. Read.
But the men of the place were Benjamins.
So everyone else are Benjamites. So these two men were strangers. Not heathens, but strangers, not from here. This is not where they were born. It's not what they were used to. Read on.
Verse 17, and when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city.
So this man from Ephraim, when he lifted up his eyes, you know, he probably was busy, when he looked up. So this man out of place, you know, we've got the definition for wayfaring.
I can get it.
You know, he saw a man out of place.
I'll get it for you. Want me to keep reading as well?
No, take it time. I can get it. So get it.
I can get it in a second. All right, I believe I got it. 1 second.
Got it, yeah?
Wayfaring definition. Oh yeah, wayfaring, a adjective of a person traveling on foot.
This man saw a wayfaring man. He saw him with his rucksack on. You know what I mean? His asshole laden. Where else to travel his house? Put a staff on him. Put a map. You know, he saw him like, oh, so you need help. You done?
Wayfaring man in the street of the city, and the old man said, "Whither goest thou?"
So the man saw him. He lifted up his eyes. And, you know, saw a man out of place. You know, he had his map upside down. You know, his compass. Like, oh, where you going? Whoever goes down. What verse you at?
The 17th verse.
Keep reading.
And whence comest thou?
And where you coming from? Where you going? Where you coming from? What everyone says, you see a man for a place. Are you from around here? Where you from? Also, where you heading? You know what I mean? You know?
Verse 18, and he said unto him, we are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, towards the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I.
So he's saying, we're coming from Judah and go to Ephraim. That's, you know, from thence am I. Meaning, that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? You know?
And I went to Bethlehem, Judah.
So I went to Bethlehem, Judah. I'm no longer there now. I went there for a particular reason. Read.
But I am now going to the house of the Lord.
I'm going to the house of the Lord, being in the temple. Read on.
And there is no man that receiveth me to his house.
And that shouldn't be. We read the law. People should be receiving this man in his house. And that's what this law is talking about. That's why it says you shall not oppress a stranger. Because you got brothers like these that won't take brothers in. Got a brother thousands of miles away from his home and you won't take him in. Got him on the road. It could rain any minute. This man got baggage, luggage. You know what I mean? Carrying heavy bags on his back and no one will take him in. That's what this law's about. Looking after your brother. Forget a white man or someone from any other country. He got his own problems. We got our problems. We got brothers that are traveling to other cities in our country. We got to look after them. That's what the law was about. Had nothing to do with no white man, Chinese man, Arab man, African man. But our brothers in our country, he should have to go through this if these brothers was following the law in Exodus.
That's right.
You know?
Verse 19, yet there is both straw and provender for our asses.
But you got food for his asses, you know, keep them going. You know?
And there is bread and wine also for me, and for thy handmaid, and for the young man with thy servants. There is no want of anything.
All right, let's go into that now. Well, yeah, this shouldn't be. This brother was so confident that he'll be taken care of because he knows the law. Meanwhile, he's not being taken care of. And this is the reason why that law was written. This is the reason because brothers like to treat brothers from out of town differently. When we're brothers, you know what I mean? We might talk different or, you know what I mean? Dress different, but we're brothers nonetheless. And this brother shouldn't be out on the streets. Our brother shouldn't be overcharged. Our brother shouldn't be robbed because he comes from another part of town or another part of the country. And that's why it's written. Not for no white man, Chinese man, African man, but for our people. And this is an example of why it was written. Because we used to overcharge our brothers, treat them wrong, oppress them, make them work for pennies. All right, give me Genesis 29. Run this quick time. Any questions, Saki?
Got one. Yeah, brother asked, is a conventional wedding ceremony Christian?
Yeah. According to the Bible, if you go in the marriage, you go in the Bible dictionary, look on the marriage. Sex is marriage. You know what I mean? We'll have a little ceremony. What would happen? The priest would what would happen was a man and a woman would go into a tent or the wedding chamber, they call it, have sex on a white sheet. And the woman's blood would run on that sheet. That sheet would be evidence that she was a virgin. You know what I mean? They'll come out, they'll show the sheet throughout the whole congregation. Everyone will party, clap, you know, black people have parties and stuff. The man will fold that sheet up. It's like evidence. And I think he'll give it to the woman's father. So years later, if he's changed his mind and says, you know what, she was a virgin when I had her, the father can roll out the sheet and go, yes, she was, look, this is the sheet. That was like evidence. But nowadays, all these G ring on the finger, all Roman. All these wedding vows, I don't know where that comes from. Nowhere in the Bible, all Roman. But yeah, according to the Hebrews, which you can read in the Bible, sex was marriage. And yeah, we did a party, you know. If you're gonna have a party with your woman, you know, when you marry her, fine. You don't have to be married in a hotel room. You know, you can party and stuff. You know, but make sure you invite me. You get me an awesome cake, man. You know what I mean? You can have food. You know what I mean? Yeah. Turn the music up, blast. You know, we can do that. But sex is marriage. I don't care if you have the wedding, the rice, the horse and carriage. You don't have sex. You ain't married. You know what I mean? Sex is the marriage. Don't respect the meal and the cake and the music. What you need to respect is that sex. That is the marriage.
I was saying about the wedding, it better be that Jamaican rum cake too, you know what I'm saying? Some of that.
Yeah. But yeah, you got Genesis 29, yeah?
Which verse?
I'm an Exodus. What's verse 1 saying?
Yo, then Jacob went to sojourn.
Give me that.
Right. Genesis 29:1. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east.
Again, so we're going to go for another scenario of why that law was created. The brothers like to be Gal brothers are not from that town. So Jacob went on his journey and went to go see his uncle, who lived in the land of Syria, because his brother Esau wanted to kill him. We done?
Verse 2. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. And Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we.
So the same we're related to Haran. Haran is Jacob's uncle, which he traveled so far to see, which is from another land. Jacob's uncle nonetheless, but he lives somewhere else, far. Jacob is a stranger unto these people. We done?
Verse 5. And he said unto them,
that's like your Haran, not Haran, Laban. Laban. Who's Haran's like that? Anyway, keep
he's a son of Nahor, but we will get there.
No, we'll get there.
All right, verse 5. And he said unto them, know ye Laban, the son of Nahor?
So he said, do you know Laban? That's who you come to see. Because any of you might know Laban. We done?
And they said, we know him.
They said, yeah, we know him. We done?
Verse 6. And he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well.
They said, is he okay? Is he about? Is he speak to him? He said, yeah, he's about me.
And behold, Rachel with the sheep.
He said, yeah, that's fine. As a matter of fact, that's the daughter over there coming with the sheep. We done?
Verse 7. And he said, lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together.
The thing is, look, it's still early. That time to gather the cattle together at that time. High day. High day means the sun's highest in the sky. Like, we done?
Water ye the sheep and go and feed them. Verse 8. And they said, we cannot until all the flocks be gathered together.
I'll give you verse 10.
Verse 10. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban.
So Jacob came, he traveled far to see his uncle, and he saw his uncle's daughter. When he saw her, and his Rachel, we done?
His mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban.
So, Jacob, he kind of like, Rachel did a thing to it. You know what I mean? Give me verse. Let me get it. Give me verse 16.
Verse 16. And Laban had 2 daughters.
And his uncle had 2 daughters. We done?
The name of the elder was Leah.
And the elder one was Leah. That's the eldest one. We done?
And the name of the younger was Rachel.
And the younger one was Rachel. Read.
And Leah was tender-eyed.
Read.
But Rachel was beautiful and well favored.
So his uncle we went to work for, who traveled so far to meet, had 2 daughters. I made a mistake at the top. Rachel was his mom, actually. Yeah. Had 2 daughters. The elder one he didn't really like too tough, but the young one was nice. So he liked her, she that pretty one, you know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel.
And Jacob loved Rachel. That's the one he wanted. You know what I mean? He wasn't fussy about Leah. Rachel was the one who gave his eyesight. They had 2 sisters. They had like Beyonce and Solange. Like no one likes Solange. What's one of them ones? You know what I mean? Rachel's the one he wants, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, go on. But what's Rachel? You done?
And said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
So Jacob said, yo, I like this girl, man. She's nice, I tell you what, I worked for you for 7 years. I have your daughter. See, I don't want them now. I'm a sojourner. But what I do is, I work for 7 years. Anything you need, I mean, the cooking, the cleaning, anything. I'll be your servant, like Jeffrey and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And when that's over, I want your daughter. That's what he said. Read on.
Verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man.
So that's fine, man. It's better to go to you, your family. I know who you are. It's not another man. My boss. I don't know him, but you know what I mean? I can vouch you. You come from good stuff. Read on.
Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. and they seemed unto him but a few days.
So this man did it, you know, he did his part of the deal. He did his 7 years, but because he loved this woman, he didn't mind, he let a burden onto him. So he seemed like, you know, it didn't seem hard, he flew. It seemed like unto him a couple of days, really.
For the love he had for her.
Really?
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are for for my days are for ill.
So my days are fulfilled, like I've done my 7 years, you know, give me what I asked for, you know?
That I may go in unto her.
Really?
Verse 22.
And going unto her, me have sex with her. That's that marriage that we spoke about earlier. You know, he didn't say that I may throw rice and the bouquet and all that trickiness there, put on a white dress. He said that I may go into. That's how you make a woman yours. You seen the Avatar movie when the bun with the horse? That's where they get it from, most likely. When a man bonds with a woman, she becomes his. We done?
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him.
So, Jacob wants Rachel. He wants Rachel, but Laban is giving him Leah, the one that he don't want. You know, he served 7 years to this woman. You know what I mean? And he's giving him the wrong one on purpose. We done?
And he went in unto her.
And Jacob, not knowing, had sex with Leah, not Rachel. He didn't want Leah. You want Rachel? That's who we work for. He specifically spoke to this man and said, listen, this man said, cool, you know. The man went as far as saying, you know what? I'd rather give it to you to and give someone else. So why are you giving him Leah for? Drop down 25.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah.
So in the morning, they found out, you know, oh man, not even Rachel's Leah. We done?
And he said he said to, thou hast done unto me.
So he's saying, what's this? Why is Leah in my bed? Do you know what I mean? Did that tell you Rachel wanted? We done?
Did not I serve thee for Rachel?
So I served you for Rachel. I did my contract, my 7-year contract for Rachel. Why do I see Leah? The door. Why am I seeing Solange? You know what I mean? I want to see Beyonce there. You know what I mean? We done?
Wherefore hast thou beguiled me?
He's saying, you beguiled me, you tricked me. You know what I mean? We sat down and you said to me, I'll rather give it to you, someone else. But you beguiled me. Now, I'm going to show you how people treat you when you're not from around here. Next line.
Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country.
I'll read that again, man. Read that again. Look at the man saying, he said, well, I don't know where you come from, but you know, it's our country. He's like, and that's our brother. That's what the law about the stranger, that's why it's written. Because you get people like this. But again, people read the stranger and think it's talking about the white man and the Chinese man. It's talking about your brethren that are strangers. So stuff like this don't happen. So your fellow black man ain't robbing you and giving you the door that you don't ask for. When you ask, you say, around here we sell chicken for 20 pounds. Oh, where you come from? You know what I mean? Around here it's a block of gold for taxi fare up to go down the road. That's what this man's saying. The guy didn't read that again. Verse
26. And Laban said, it must not be done so in our country.
So in our country, we don't do things like that. You know? And that's what's common. That's how black people treat strangers. Like, I don't know where you come from, but around here. And that's not beguiling. That's where they go. You should not oppress the stranger. Don't oppress him. Don't trick him. Treat him like one boy in the land. Look what this man's doing. That's why this was written. But again, we're up on the time. Any announcements? Any questions?
Yes, one last question. It goes, in those times, did the man live with all of his wives in the same house?
No. My church is right now. About when Leah goes, let Jacob stay with me for tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So in that they didn't together. Anyway, no, you can do if you want. GEN.YAHANNA said he hasn't seen it work. But again, black women are just, the black woman thing, women are just women. And, you know, women get jealous of another woman around and so forth. Having everyone in the house, there's a lot of estrogen right there, you know what I mean? A lot of cat fights. So you probably best, you know, keep it in a high and by situation. You don't have to know. You don't have to be tight with each other, you know what I mean? There's people that are brothers and sisters and they say high and by, you know, you don't have to be all in each other's face. But with that, that's the class. We're going to go into the prayers. Remember, pay your tithes. This is I.S.U.P.K on the command GEN.YAHANNA. The brother's going to go for the announcements and we're going to pray out.
All right, that was a powerful class. Let's give the powerful preacher a hand first. All right, gonna get the announcement. Right, we are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the heads to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the heads to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through till 10 means 10th in the Hebrew ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or to each priest fund through offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations, the Feast of Trumpets in the month of October. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and or a wall scarf. So we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Rise and face the east. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Kovka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Hayah, Washamayim, Athalanawa, Lakam, Kel, Yawan, Wasalakanawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Wala'ah, Dabayainawa, Balasayawan, Abba, Hamashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Baha'ala, Bahakapara, La'aywalamyan, Aman. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And the next prayer, the power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kushah, Nathanawa, Haka,